Here we go. Time for Monk. One of the easiest characters in the game, like. Guys, I'm telling you, like, we are in 2025, like, let's jump to like 2030, where people will be saying, bro, that guy was right all the way, all along, man. Monk is definitely so easy. He's no part of the big four anymore. Trust me. This thing right here, this is a game changer for Monk. It's insane. Bro, you have gold outlines, like, shining everywhere, like, don't touch this. Like, the game is helping you. You have less enemies than before. You have as much as enemies as, like, area. Like, no swarms at all, basically, anymore with Monk. It's just easy. And you have an extra heart. Like, usually you had 2 and now you have 3. That's insane! And you even have a shovel just in case that only takes 0.5 of your health if you are stuck somewhere. You can always get back that from a pixie in 4-3, for example, but it's just 0.5 if you really need to open something, so you won't even get stuck. You can always open any wall, even the shop walls, man. Even the shop walls you can open with this shovel. You can even dig King Konga's throne with this. Bro, Monk is overpowered. Bro, like, they have to nerf Monk. Monk is too easy. Now, jokes aside, like, Monk is always a difficult character, of course, but trust me, the more you play Monk, you'll just feel like you will be on the easier side. Maybe it's just because I never really felt that gold pressure of touching the gold. It's just don't touch it. And sometimes when I die, it's mostly because of enemies. It's not even gold. Gold has never been a problem for me with Monk. That's probably because of it. I don't know. But anyway, going back, like, general character tips. Zone 1, some layouts can be really difficult, where you are basically completely stuck and you can only enter from a specific door, because all the walls are like tier 3 or tier 2 walls and you can't open them. Like, you can, but you will waste HP, so you don't want to do that. Obviously you want to play normally, so some layouts can be really tough. What you want to do in those situations is, especially if it's a dragon, if you know it's a dragon, you can know that, watch my tips video to know if it's a dragon or not. You can try to call him, get close to the exit, try to call him. If you call the dragon will open everything for you. And not only that, one thing you always want to do with Monk is, as soon as you kill the mini-boss, there's no reason to try and go for the exit. Like, if it's a 1-1 on 1-2 or 2-1 or 2-2, fine, but every third floor, it just becomes too risky because the enemies are stronger. The layouts can be harder. It just feels that everything is darker. The higher floors will just be more difficult to deal with, and it's just more risky because everyone can kill you with one hit. The others, even if you make a mistake, you can still survive, but the higher floors, like, don't risk it. Call the mini-boss, kill him, and stop. There's no reason to try to go for the exit, especially with Monk. Like, with other enemies you can go, but with Monk, having gold all over the place, it just becomes too stressful. So if you want to put him later on in the run, like I did, I put him 6th on my run, and I still did it. You want to wait for the music to end before going to the next floor. Just wait for the soundtrack to end. So yeah, zone 4, very difficult layouts, be careful of that. Like, in every zone in general, try to always place the gold in the corners. Don't let him, like, randomly, like, when you see an enemy, don't just randomly just start killing him right here. Like, you will close yourself so fast. Like, at least kill him somewhere here, so you can get some space. And Another thing you want to do with Monk is like dig everything. Like, don't be afraid to call enemies. It's more important, like, even if you call some enemies, it's fine. It's fine. You want to dig everything. Just dig stuff. Don't be afraid to dig. You want to create space. Like, most of these zones, the music won't end before you kill the mini-boss. Like, these floors are usually not that bad. Zone 4 is a different story, I will get there. But all this is usually completely fine. Like, create space, try to put gold, try to remember, okay, I have gold there, and always keep in mind, like, okay, if I have to come back now, where do I go back? Okay, I can use that row on the bottom completely. Oh, and I remember there was like a gold there, so I can't go into that. Like, try to remember that, especially when it comes to a point where you have like gold everywhere. You just need to have a good memory to remember where is the gold. Like, that's basically it. Just dig. Like, don't be afraid to dig everything. Just create space for yourself so you can move around. And when the mini boss appears, don't be afraid of getting yourself stuck. Like, okay, I have to kill the mini boss in this position, otherwise I won't be. Like, at that moment you have to kill the mini boss. Forget about everything else. If you want to go to the exit afterwards, it's your decision. If you want to put Monk sooner in the run and you want to get to the stairs fast, okay, that's your decision. Personally, I just want to get mini boss kill fast as possible. I don't care where the gold is by that point, and if I have to wait the song, I will wait the song. There's no reason to risk with Monk. For zone 2, Mage Alert. Like, Mage Alert is something you need to have for every character, but especially for Monk, because if the mage pushes you, pull you, you are dead. He will just pull you into gold. Most of the times, if you have gold there, like, you are killing an enemy and there's like a mage exactly behind him. The moment he pulls you, you are dead. So try, if you see a mage, just get out of there. Or even like a confusion dude in zone 4. Unless you are very comfortable with the confusion effect and you can react to it. Sometimes you will kill an enemy like clicking right and there is a confusion dude right there. And you want to click left after killing the enemy because you want to back down. But the guy just confused you and now the left is right. And you are going to jump immediately into gold. So be very aware of that. Always try to call one enemy at a time. Be very precise with your kills. And yeah, zone 2 mages, mushrooms, like, you can, if the enemy lines perfectly with the mushroom, you can call these enemies, and instead of having gold all over the place, like, you can call the enemy like perfectly like this, and then you can just kill him on gold. So we basically just killed 2 enemies and we only have 1 pile of gold. Like, we can do stuff like this. I don't worry too much about it. I think if you start digging stuff in zone 2, you have a lot of free space. I'm not really trying to perfectly line these enemies, because you might do a mistake, especially with these mages, if you really keep trying to do this. Like, this works, especially in 2-1. But once you get to like 2-2 and you have yellow mages and then dark mages, you just won't be able to do this. So, like, don't think too much about it. Just kill the enemies. If you have space to move, that's what matters. Another important tip is some walls will have gold. You need to be fully aware, like, at all times of check the wall. Like, if the wall is shining, you already know there's gold in that wall, so immediately when you open that wall, or either don't open it, don't just immediately jump into it. Yeah, be very careful with the gold in some walls. I was trying to find one to show you, but I think you got the point. Yeah. Zone 3 spawns are not too bad with Monk. With zone 3, like, you can have, I wouldn't call that a swarm, but kinda something like that. Be careful with the shove monsters that will push you. Um, they can push you into gold, so be careful about that. Don't worry too much where the gold is going to be in zone 3, just kill stuff. You have gold outlines with synchrony, it's fine, you can see everything. Oh, about gold outlines, like some people like to change the color of the gold, some purple, some yellow, some green, mostly green and purple. They are cool to see, like I tried those, but personally I still prefer the red. I think I just see the red better. I just left how the game, like the normal settings of the game. I never changed it. Just keep it red. Zone 4. Zone 4 soundtracks can just go by so fast with Monk. Like you will definitely go into a lot of arenas without killing the mini boss with Monk Zone 4 because you were just too slow. That will happen. You won't be the first. Like what I usually like to do is I don't think too much about where I'm going to place the gold. Like my biggest goal is just to, like, I just want to kill enemies quick. Like I just want to open everything. Like I don't care. Like look how much stuff I just opened. I just don't care. Like it just I just want space because I think it's more risky to not have space than to be trying to not call enemies, you know? I just think it's too... Here I just made a mistake, I'm rushing way too much, of course, but my point is, I just want to open everything. Like, I want to create space for myself. Even if I have to kill more enemies, like, it's better than just try to... Oh my god, now I need to organize the gold perfectly in that corner. And now I need to open that wall to go horizontally. Oh my god, but there's a statue here. This will be a very difficult just open everything, like just create space. You will have a way easier time with Monk if you just open stuff in zone 4. Don't worry about it, like you can deal with the enemies, it's fine. You can deal with it. Just obviously don't rush as much as I did here, like I was just overreacting, but you think you understand what I mean. Just open space, one room at a time, but open space. Yeah, I think overall tips for Monk, that's it. Yeah, I don't remember anything else. So now let's go to bosses. We will leave Deep Blues will be the last one. Like I want to spend some time with Deep Blues. That will be the last one. We'll start with Coral Reef. We will only play the highest variant of Coral Reef. This is basically the same strat as Cadence, Area. Like I told you in those videos. I'm not going to say much more with Monk. We count the phases. It's the 4th phase. We start going to the right side because that's where they came. And you basically need to be very careful to not get stuck in the corner like this. That was a bit too risky on my part. So instead of you going right, try going left. Avoid getting stuck in the corner. Another thing you can do, which I don't recommend with Monk, is if you have to dagger throw, do it. But make sure that the enemies you are going to kill with the dagger throw, no one is like near a wall, so you can go back and grab the dagger. Because if the dagger gets stuck in gold, it's GG. It's over. It's over. So yeah, like Coral Reef, avoid putting yourself into corners. Try to stay in the middle of the arena. These guys when they have 2 hearts, you can jump into the water. If they don't, you can't. Here they still have 2 hearts, so I can do this. I should have went to the left side first, but it's still completely fine. Here it's a very difficult position because I already messed up. But since Monk can lose bits, it's not like area. You can still somehow improvise and still live. It's like, it's not that hard of a boss, like it's fine. Just don't touch gold. Just don't touch gold and you are fine. Yeah. Yeah, go back to my cadence video, I go into much more detail there in the area, so I have said that all that before. King Konga 1, cadence and area video, nothing to say. I'll just do it once, it's the same strat, nothing to say here. You can lose bits if you want, if the lines mess up. Just lose a bit if you have to. Don't feel like you need to keep the beat and doing some crazy dagger throws like in area. Like, don't feel like you have to. You can lose bits. It's fine, even if he comes out of the throne. It's okay. King Konga 3, it's the same. You only need to be very careful with the mage here, because he might end up in a position behind the lines. I think he will be ending up there now, look. So the difference about Monk is that you want to basically kill every enemy in the line besides these last two. When you come to these last two enemies, you come to here and you kill them here very far away from the mages. That's the only difference. And that's it. Like, you do the same strat, the beginning is the same as cadence, as area, everything is the same. And once you get to those final two minions, you bail out and you kill them in a different place, so the mage doesn't pull you to gold. That's it. If the mage comes from the top, that can happen sometimes, just bail out sooner. Here I had to take the bat, and now I'm improvising a little bit, and I see the mage. Like, as soon as I see the mage moving against me, I'm out. Like, I'm out. Let's get out of here, let's create some space, let's put ourselves in a comfortable position. We are seeing too much gold here, we need to go to a different place already, you see? Don't risk it. Okay. If you have to kill the mage, I think this is like a good time to actually do it. There's also another mage behind him. Here I lost a bit on purpose, because like I told you, don't feel like you have to keep the beat at all times, it's fine. But yeah, like, if you have to bail out, right here I'm losing another bit, which is completely fine. Like, I can lose all the bits I want. It's completely safe. Don't obviously keep doing that. But as you can see, don't feel like you have to keep the beat at all times. Like, if there's a lot of pressure going on, just lose it. Don't feel like you have to get hit by an enemy or get pulled into gold because you did the right move, because you were just too scared of losing a bit. Don't worry about it. You can take care of King Konga, the King Konga really. King Konga 3. Do I really have to say anything else besides just bomb him? Do I really have to? I don't care if you have the blood shovel. I don't care. There's only one solution for this boss, and it's a bomb. It's the only solution. You can, like, if you don't have the bomb that you should have, you can try to open the throne using the blood shovel, but I just think it's too risky. Like, one hit only will open the throne, but just look how stressful this is. It's just too stressful. Doing all these laps, like losing your run just because you didn't want to lose a bomb. Here, I was basically going to get hit like that. That was basically the only way to survive that. without getting hit. Like, it's just too stressful. Too stressful. Or if you don't want, you don't use bomb and you don't use the blood shovel, then rest in peace, my friend. But really, it's the Floriiss strat. It's the one I've been talking about in the other videos. Here I can't even kill the elemental. Like, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. I have to go to the Yeti, and I had to roll that bet, otherwise I had to lose the beat or go to a minion. Like, bro, I have 500 hours in this game and I still can't consistently do this boss 100%. Trust me. Use your bomb. Use your bomb. That's it. King Konga 4. King Konga 4, it's the same strat as Bolt, as Cadence, as Area. It's the same thing, but if you have to lose a bit, lose it. Now remember, these bombers can actually be very helpful because they will destroy all the gold around. So it can actually be very helpful. So you do the same strat in the beginning, and here, look how they are so helpful. They destroyed every coin. So now we are in a very safe place. No one can pull us. Remember, this is the time where you should ignore those enemies. Like, I could have killed the warlock there, but it's like my personal rule, because I messed it up so many times that I just created this rule for myself that I don't want to kill those enemies. Because if you are thinking about killing those enemies, that will distract you from your goal. You think you are safe just killing that enemy, but King Konga is already coming and you might mess up somehow because you didn't see a bet. So just bail out, kill the lines, leave those enemies. Like, you don't need to deal with them. Just focus on what's the important thing. Because even if in that moment I could have killed the warlock, there will be like some other moments where I can't kill the warlock. So the more you just give your brain muscle memory to just repeat the same thing over and over, and in this case is ignore the enemies, even if like 50% of the time you can actually kill them safely, if you just train your brain to do the same thing all over again, like the same thing, just repeat it, it will just be easier for you mentally, and it will just be safer. You don't need to kill them. Even if you can, why? Why should you? Like, don't. If 100% of the times not killing them works, and 50% of the time killing them doesn't work, why should you try to kill them? Why risk it? Don't risk it. So yeah, Coral Reef is done, King Kong is done, we can talk about that metal. Like, it's basically Cadence all over again. You can lose bits. Try to place the... Like, I don't really care where I place the bomb, like, honestly. I don't really care. I just know it's there, and I don't step those tiles. It can be a bit darker to see, but yeah, I don't really have any issues with gold. Like, some people like to put the gold perfectly on a corner or something like that. Like, I don't really care. I'm going to end this fight in a few seconds anyways, and you are in single tempo. You won't spawn many enemies, if an enemy at all, so I don't really care. It's not a difficult boss. Dead Metal 2, same strat. If you can't do the laps around like this because the minions are basically closing you, you can just enter on his line and just attack him immediately. And just be careful so you don't get hit by the... Like here, it's a bit risky to go against him because there are so many clones. So I'll just take my time until I can actually get to him completely safe like this. And then I get into his last phase. That's it. Like, I can even dagger throw. Just be very careful with this, because if he was going to be next to the wall, I would have lost my dagger there. So avoid doing dagger throws with Monk. Like, The entire all zones with Monk, just avoid doing any dagger throws at all. Don't do it. Unless it's the final boss and he's going to die. Dead Metal 3, same strat as Kaidos. Like, do what you want to do in the beginning, it doesn't matter, just kill the first beetle. Just make sure you know where the gold is. Just don't get like... Dead Metal is very tall, so make sure you can see where the gold is. Like, I already know there's 4 coins of gold there. I'm not going to touch that. Here I can either take my time or just go against him. It doesn't matter. It's an easy boss. It's completely fine. Here I can just not risk it and wait one more and kill him. It's easy. Dead Metal 4, however, can be tricky because the warlocks might confuse your brain on where the goal is going to be. You always end up with the gold in the place where you came from, and even if you teleport to the place where the gold actually was, you don't die. Like, it's not like an item where you get teleported to the item position and you die. It's just like the gold it'll just move. It's just, even for the warlocks, they did this in a way where it's not even unfair, but it kind of just becomes too easy, because instead of having now 2 piles of gold, I just have 1, because the gold kind of moved to that position with the warlock. And yeah, like, it's basically the same thing, just don't touch gold. And here you want to take care of him fast, because these guys, you can't transform them into skeletons, and they will always keep dropping gold. So yeah, you want to do it fast for Dead Metal 4, definitely faster than the other variants. Dead Metal 4, do it quick. Just the warlock part, take your time if you have to, but when you start attacking Dead Metal, just finish him quick. So now it's the moment that probably everyone wants to see. It's Deeplus. Like, how do you do Deeplus so well? How can you always find a way to kill him bombless? Right side strategy. Right side strategy. It's by far the best for Monk in Deeplus. It's the only one that works 100% of the time. It's the only one. It's a guarantee Deeplus kill if you know what you are doing. It's a guarantee 100%. If it's... Let me start with the easiest variant. If it's the easiest variant, it's a bit like Bolt. Not sure if you will watch Bolt video or even if you are going to watch the Bolt video, but with Bolt I basically do a specific strat for Deeplus 1 and 2 and another one for Deeplus 3 and 4. I change my strat. With Monk is the same. With Deeplus 1 and 2, like the 2 I can do either way. Like Deeplus 2 it doesn't matter, I can either go right or start from the left, it doesn't matter. But for the first one, since all the pieces will basically die with 1 hit, I like to start from the left and go to the right. Like something like this. Because they will all die in one hit anyways. Then I can just stay here. And if you feel like I'm dead somehow, like, I'm not. This position, as scary as it seems, it's completely safe, because you just have to wait for the queens there and kill this guy. It's done. It's that easy. Deeplus with Monk is that easy. Just enter from the left, finish on the right. For the weaker variants, because they just die too fast. If you try to do the right side strategy that I'm going to show you now for higher variants, but if you try to do that for weaker variants, it will just feel like you are just waiting for enemies a long time, because everyone you touch just die in 1 hit. So you start on the right side, you just kill 2 or 3 enemies, and then what? You are just waiting for the other ones, and you can't go to the left because you might get stuck there somehow or get hit by the queen. because it just takes too long to do a lap around avoiding the gold to get to the left side. It's just too dangerous. So mine as well start from the left to end up on the right and leave a path open to go away. However, for a higher D plus variant like D plus 4, like if I probably could just start from the left now and find a way to do it, because I just have too many hours with this boss already, a lot of practice. Like I could make it work like this, and it did, starting from the left, but it just feels like you are doing so many movements, left, right, and it's just a maze, and it gets just so confusing on my mind. I think it's just easier to do a mistake. And the problem with doing a mistake in Deep Blues with Monk is you do one mistake and you get stuck in a position where you can't leave, you are dead. Like, even if you have full health, even if you still have a bomb, that small mistake will kill you instantly, because you will get stuck in a position that you can't leave, and the queens will eventually get there. You won't have time to like bomb yourself or something like that. You won't have time for that. Like, so even if this works, and it does, like you can just go from left to right, I just think that it's too stressful to do it like that. So I'm going to show you now my right side strategy. First of all, it should be noted that I always like to use the bomb for this strategy. Deep Blues Monk is a boss you always want to save your bomb. Unless you have King Konga 3, I will always use it for King Konga 3 before Deep Blues 4. Like in my run, I actually got King Konga 3 and Deep Blues 4, and I had to do Deep Blues 4 bombless, and I still did it. However, I will still do bomb, use my bomb first, like that's my priority if I don't have King Konga 3. And what I usually do is cadence strat, like kill the first pawn, drop the this was kinda crazy what I just saw, and I'm going to explain you why I did that. Like, what you just saw was insane, the way I just basically did that lap. But I somehow messed up the tower there. I should have killed the tower a bit sooner. I messed it up. And I basically just won. I still survived. I won right now. But I'm going to just restart to show you. But there are 4 tiles that you never want to place gold when you do this strategy. These 4 tiles right here, these 4 tiles where I'm walking right now, you never want to put gold in those 4 tiles. And I know that I was going to kill the tower in one of those 4 tiles, and I was going to lose immediately. So that's when you have to make a difficult decision if you mess up like I did. It was actually an insane clutch. If you mess up like I did, you basically need to get the hit somehow. Like, if you decide to kill him there, you basically just need to get out of that place immediately. Go to the left, try to take a hit from a queen, just run to the top of the arena and somehow save it. But you will definitely, it's better to take the hit than to stay there, because if you stay there, you are going to be stuck on gold. You won't be able to leave. If you place some gold on those tiles, you will be stuck, unless it's one of the last enemies, like this tile specifically where I am right now. If there is gold on this tile, you can still survive, but you can only place gold here if it's one of the last enemies. So you know that after you place gold on this tile that I'm now, you need to go to this one where I am, and you basically just can't move anymore, because then you will need to go to the bottom to then bail out to the left side. That will be your only way to run from there. So yeah, bomb, like I told you in other videos, if it's open, put the bomb, go 2 tiles back, and then start killing all enemies. make sure to avoid... here I basically don't let him... here I can either wait... No, I don't even need to wait nothing, I just can kill him. Yeah, it's completely fine. Like here I basically started putting gold on that tile that I just told you, but it's completely fine because they were the last enemies, they were the queens. So yeah, like with bomb, this will always be 100% consistent. It will feel very safe. If you don't have bomb, you basically have to do something like this, where you need, like, every movement will count. Like, do you see how basically you have to clutch all these moves? Every move will count, and you need to prioritize every specific enemy at the right time. Otherwise, you will or either lose too much time, or the moment you start backing up too much, enemies will start also coming to the bottom, and eventually you have to kill them, and you will start killing them in a position where you can't. You need to kill them fast, and you need to prioritize them quick. Now right here I have a bishop on the top right side, and you might think, oh, he's going to attack me, I'm dead. But I'm not. Bishops can only attack diagonally. So if I have those two tiles that I told you about, that I always want to leave without gold, I can then predict the bishop's movement to know where he's going to end up. And since the bishops can't attack horizontally or vertically, they can only attack diagonally, I can place myself in a position where he will never touch me. So I can literally just stay here, and the bishop will just do his movement. And, well, I actually felt a bit there, my mistake. Like, I can just wait for him there until he goes back to the safe place here, and then I can just bail out. So the bishops are one of the reasons why I always want those two tiles empty of gold, because there might be some situations like the one you saw where they won't come for you, and if they don't come for you, you kind of just have to forget about them, just let them be, and worry about the queens, and just find a tile where he won't hit you diagonally. He won't hit you, like the one. I just got hit because I felt a bit my mistake. But the bishop never hit me. It was a chess move, man. Chess move there. Really, really nice. But yeah. So I always go for bomb. If I don't have bomb, I enter right side. You need to kill enemies fast. Now, there's one, like, all these small details are so important for Deep Blues and to survive. But there's one small detail, one that no one will tell you. No one will tell you about this because they probably don't know about this. But the bishops have a very interesting behavior on this game. The bishops are a bit like the goblins, where if you go away, they come to you. But if you go against them, they will run away from you. It's hard to explain, but play the game, do some attempts, and you will see, like, sometimes you want to get to the bishop, and he will randomly just start running away from you. Like, it's not the perfect goblin where he literally will just run away from you, but some of his diagonal movements just feel weird sometimes. Maybe because there are some enemies around him, and that also affects his ability and moves. But most of the times, think about it like that. Bishops are a bit like the goblins. They will run away from you. So what you want to do is bait them. You need them to come to the bottom, because you only can afford having one bishop left. Like, this is a GOAT tip. Like, this will be a lifesaver for many people. Like, all homework is done here. This took me a long time to discover. You need to bait them because you only can afford having one bishop in the end. If you have two bishops in the end, you won't have a tile where you will be protected from both, and they will start attacking you, and eventually you will die. So you can only afford having one. So my personal recommendation on what I do, especially when I'm on the right side without bomb, is, let me just show you. I start by doing it as I always do, right? I start killing these guys. I start doing this. Then, here, we have 2 bishops. Look what I do. I immediately back out and I go kill one more piece. Because the moment I bail out and I go to kill this piece, look at the other bishop. The other bishop is basically coming against me. If I decided to just stay here and do some movement like this, just staying here like waiting for him, I will be dead. Because I just can't stay still. I have to stay still in some situations, but in that specific one, I can't just wait. I need to do something. And if I do my move to the left, go back and then to the left, that will bait the other bishop to come. And it's also an interesting position because there was a bishop coming from the bottom left. It's rare that happen. Okay, I'm searching for more different variants besides those ones because the openings that we got were very similar. And remember, like, deep blues can have so many variants. Like here we are basically getting just pawn openings, but if you get a knight opening, it basically can change the strat completely. Like, the concept is the same, but you basically will have to improvise a little bit in the moment, because you need to lose more bits waiting for some pieces to come to you, because the knight just appeared first. And sometimes, like, if you enter the right side and it's like a left side knight opening, like, it will just take a long time just for the pieces to come back to you, you know. But like, the concept is, look, this is basically the same opening we just got. See, like, it's just like, it's just very situational. Like, you need to just keep training this boss until you get some different openings. You can also, instead of just practicing Deep Blues 1, I also recommend practicing, Deep Blues 4. Also recommend doing some attempts for Deep Blues 3, for example, because the openings can vary a little bit between them. And even if it's Deep Blues 3, like, remember, like, do you see? It's already a bit different, but the strat is the same. I don't have anyone there, so I just go search for them. And now here, if I have to pause buffer, I will, just to understand. I only have one more enemy left. It's the bishop on the right side. So I know that there is a tile where I'm safe, and it's this one. You see? And this is actually an interesting position, because this pawn took a long time to get here, but it's still completely safe. Like, you can see, like, I only use these tiles of gold, it's crazy, just to kill every enemy. Look, it's just so funny to look at this way. Look, there's like 5, 6 I only use these tiles for this boss fight. 8 tiles where I killed everyone. It feels so tight and scary, but you can lose every bit, so it's completely fine. So yeah, also practice Deep Blues 3 because it might have some different openings, and the enemies just vary. Sometimes you have bishops with 2 health, sometimes with 1 health, sometimes you can have towers with 1 or 2, sometimes you can have knights with 1 or 2. So instead of attacking twice, you can only attack once. So you basically just need to keep doing, keep practicing, and you will understand the moment where you need to back out and do that, like, small bait. Like, this might seem ridiculous, but it always works. Like, it's such a... Look, we have 2 bishops there on the top. They are 2 on the top. If I don't go to the left side now to bait them, there's no way I'm going to survive this. Like, I basically just interrupted my rule here, like, to survive. I basically just aborted mission. The right side mission, aborted. Because when you have 2 bishops like that, you can just stay on the right side. Oh, let me just wait for them until they come. There is no time. There was no time. Like, I did my part. I baited them going to the left, and they didn't come. or they just took too long. And now I basically have to come up with a completely new different plan like this. And it's fine, like, just improvise. Because the good thing about placing bomb or starting from the right side is that the left side will always be open. So there's always that like plan B. Like if everything goes wrong, you can always bail out. Like thankfully I used the bomb and I had a lot of space there. But if I hadn't used the bomb and I had to bail out, this would have been a very, very difficult position. But if I started on the right side, maybe I didn't have all this issue because I was already on the side of the bishops instead of starting from the left. So like the movement you just make every moment just matters. It just matters a lot. Here I'm basically just already going to the left so I can start baiting them. And yeah, it's basically done. Once you get to this point, it's always GG. It's always GG. So yeah, like just practice a little bit and you will get a feel for what I'm saying about this bishop thing and bailout thing and all of these concepts. Just try it for yourself and you will understand how important the right side for monk is. It's a must. It's a must. This is not Coda. You can lose bits. If you want to play Coda, then the only probable way to do deep lose is probably go to the top. But this is not Coda. You can lose bits. Use that in your favor. This is low percent. Don't play the game like the game is meant to be played, which is keeping the multiplier and getting items, because here you are not getting items, you are like playing the game on its purest form, but it's also a very strange way to play the game because you also can't respect it and you need to improvise and find different ways to do it, like these pause buffers, this losing bit situation, and it's the only way to do it. It's the only way to consistently do it. So yeah, I hope, I think I lost a long time here in Deep Blues, but this is one of the hardest bosses for the entire Crypt community. Like everyone has a lot of issues with this. I've seen a lot of PBs dying, guys finishing Big 4, Deep Blues 4, that. And I basically just can't do this boss 100% of the time. It's not that hard. Just practicing is very important, and knowing these small details, these small little details that I just said, those will save a run, for sure. And you saw that bishop, you need to know when to bail out. Like as soon as I saw it, I just knew, get out. If I took like 2 or 3 more beats, even if I didn't die, I was going to take a hit for sure from Queen, for sure. So yeah, keep practicing. And Monk, one of the easiest characters in the game, man. See ya.